So on this video, we're gonna do a oil change. Pretty much what we're gonna use is just a ratchet with a 17 millimeter socket. I'm gonna use these pliers right here just to loosen up the filter. There's a socket right here that you can buy, but it's just that right now I can't find it. I had one, but I just can't find it. So I'm gonna show you guys another way of doing this without the socket that actually goes right here. Because I had it before, but I just can't find it. So I'm just gonna do it this way. But so you might strip this right here, but for me, I don't mind stripping this. My car's not a show car, so it don't make a difference. So the other thing you're gonna need are car jacks and jack stands. And just remember, the oil pan, it drains down the passenger side. So right now, how I have it a little higher on the driver's side and a little lower on the passenger side, because the drainage pan is going to be on this side, and it's going to be draining this way towards the passenger side. And right now I have jack stands on both sides just for in case, and I have the jacks right there. So you guys could just use one jack and then put a jack stand under it and go on the other side and lift it up. And remember, every BMW has a place right here where you could put the stands at. There's like a plastic thing right here, and if it's not there, it's still okay to lift up the car on these sides, or you can lift up the car in the middle. But usually in the middle, you guys can't lift it up because you guys will have a plastic piece down here, a plastic piece covering all this. But if you do or don't have it, you could lift up the car in the middle right here, right there from this board. And on this video, well, I'm gonna show you how I drain this is the oil. I'm gonna show you how I drain it and put the oil in there. I'm gonna just go all out. I'm using Mobile One extended performance. So on this car, it takes exactly 7 quarts to fill up the engine, and I'm just using this filter. You could buy any filter you want. I just bought this one for like $13. So right now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take off the oil filter on top. So when I drain the bottom, the oil will drain a little quicker. So I already hopefully my tripod don't drop my camera. Let me adjust it real quick. I already loosened it up a little, but there's 2 ways of doing this. If you don't want to scratch the edges of this, you could get a rag or something and just put it there and just have the pliers twist. So that's one way of doing it. But I'm just gonna take it off like this. So I'm just gonna loosen it up a little. Actually, I'm tightening it. My bad. And as you can see, I'm flipping the pliers back and forth so I could get more twist on the top of it. But yeah, it's better to have the socket that actually goes on here. As you can see, I'm just stripping it. But knowing me, eventually I'll just buy a new one. This does take a while. Okay, that is enough. I'll come back and do the rest of it. Let me loosen up the oil. Let me unloosen it so I can take the camera down there. Let me loosen up the bolt that goes to the oil pan. Yeah, it's my homie. So, sorry for the delay. You guys, as you can see, my little friend Birdie is gonna help me. I guess this is only in Los Angeles when a pigeon comes under your car to help you do an oil change. Okay. It's a little tight down here. Birdie. It's a city bird. He has a tag on his feet. So right here is the bolt that we're taking off, and I already broke the tension off of it. So let me try to get it off. And any girl can do this as well. I had one of my subscribers ask me, and yes, a girl could do this job. And right now my oil is a little hot because I was driving it over here. So when it shoots out, this oil pan, the oil pan does not have to be right under it because the oil is gonna shoot flying this way. So I might get some going everywhere. So let me see if I can unscrew it. And once I unscrew this, I'm gonna let this bolt fall, and I could retrieve it later, or I'm gonna just try to see if I have time to yank it up. Man, this bird wants to steal something over here. So let me see. I'm gonna try to twist, move. Okay, right in there. I got the. So the oil is draining still right here. I filled up the top of this pan. Real black oil. So it really did need an oil change. So I'm gonna let that drain right here. And the reason why I wanted to remove the oil filter and remove the cap right here, the oil cap and the oil filter, so the oil will have a better flow and to get everything out a little quicker. So now what I'm gonna do is remove the or replace the oil filter. I'm gonna try to do this in real time, but just get rags to clean your hands, and let you guys know the oil change does not take that long, because the only hard part is this. If you don't have the right tool for it, there's different tools you can use. And right now there's oil in here, and I'm gonna have to make sure that the oil drains out of this filter. I need to get another oil pan. I think I'm gonna find one. So there's still oil down here, so I'm just gonna let it drain down. I'm gonna show you guys. So I'm just letting the oil drain out of here. It was a little higher, but it's coming out. It's still coming down. I think it's gonna fill up my oil pan in the bottom. So remember, the filter will just pop right off. So right now we're good. We're here. Now let me tighten up this oil cap. That's enough oil. It filled up my oil pan, and I can't find my other oil pan, so I'm just gonna clog this up. But before I do that, I forgot. See this ring right here? I have to replace it with a new one. It's a copper ring. And sorry for the camera moving all around, because my hands are oily. And like I said again, I want to do this in real time. And your oil filter will come with the ring that goes on the bottom filter. So I just replaced it. So now let's go to the bottom, and then let's clog this oil pan. I wish I had a tripod so I could do everything with my two hands, but I don't have one right now. So try to screw it in as much as possible with your hands. And then the oil pan, just slightly move it. I know some of you guys will have bigger oil pans or bigger oil can catchers, but I have a cardboard on the bottom so it won't drop on the floor, and then I have my oil pan. So I was loosening it, so now I'm going to turn my thing to tighten. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. So, and you don't have to put too much pressure on this, just enough to squeeze the copper ring in there. So I'm done with that, and now all the work that's left, it's all on the top part. So excuse the camera from moving. I'm moving up to the top now, and then we're gonna do the rest of the job on top of here. So let's do this. So here's the old oil filter, all clogged up and dirty. And here's the new one. On this, there's no particular way that you need to put it in, but that's that. It locks in there. And then the next thing we need to do is remove this little ring right here that goes around here. So let me grab some pliers real quick. I didn't get pliers, I just got a Phillips. And then with the Phillips, what we're gonna do is try to pull this rubber O-ring, as long as we could get under it, but it'll be better to use a flathead. So let me. Okay, I got it. Oh, I had it, wanted to show you guys, but there we go. And pretty much you want to just replace this, because if you don't replace this and you try to put it back on there, the problem that you're gonna have is oil leaking from here, these edges. And a lot of people will do their oil change and wonder why there's oil leaking from their oil filter. It's because they didn't replace this O-ring. And let me show you guys. Because this is a O-ring made from rubber. So what ends up happening with this rubber, with the heat, it gets smaller. It does not expand as much. As you can see, the size, it's huge. It's more bigger. So the new one will call for a tighter fit. You can feel it, like the old one's more harder. And as you can see, the new one, it's like a rubber band. It just went in so easily. So remember, they stretch, but they don't, I guess, get any smaller. And that's that. So I'm done with this. I already have oil right there. And the next thing we'll need to do, after putting the seal on here, we're just gonna have to put the filter, and then make sure this is sealed, and just lightly turn it, righty tighty, lefty loosey. So, and what I'm gonna end up doing, I'm gonna tighten this. Let me tighten this. I just don't need to record it because I showed you how I took it off, and it's the same process of putting it on. And then let me do this part, and then let me remove my oil pan from the bottom of the car, and then we're gonna proceed on the next thing that we need to do. So let me do this real quick. Okay, this is the almost last step of this process. So I already closed my filter. I already removed my oil pan from the bottom. Not oil pan, the drainage pan. And then now we're gonna put oil into the engine block. And pretty much all you do, you could use a funnel if you want, but I'm just gonna pour it in here. And I already tightened the screw on the bottom, so I could put my oil in here, and then right now I'm just putting in the first 2 quarts because I know this engine takes exactly 7 quarts. So the big one's 5, and these 2 are one quart, so that adds up to 7 quarts. And it's a exact measurement. It's no more or no less. So that's why when I do my oil change, I just put all of it in. I don't check it just because I know it's a exact fit of oil in the engine block. There's no way of overfilling this as long as you put the 7 quarts in there. So that's what I'm doing right now, putting the 7 quarts. And then when I'm done with this, what I'm gonna do is get a funnel. All my old oil, look at how dirty it is. With all my old oil, I'm gonna funnel it back into these containers, and then take it back to AutoZone so they can recycle it for free. So now I'm done with this part. So let me do this oil, the oil spill right here cleaned up. Let me clean it up, and then I'm gonna show you the next step. What to do to reset your oil light in inside the car. And let me add this to the video. I turned on my car, left it on for like a minute or less, so I could get the oil up and moving in the engine block. And my oil level, I never really like to check it because I already know it's correct, but you know, it's always good to make sure. So as you can see, the dipstick, it's nice and wet where it's supposed to be. So my engine's level properly, because the level line is supposed to be right here. There's 2 cuts, and the oil is supposed to be up to the top one, no more. This line right here, this indicator right here is supposed to be filled up to here, not to this one, only to this one. Say hello to my little friend Pigeon. And yeah, so as long as this is wet and not this, because if this is wet, that's indicating you overfilled it. But like I told you, with my 7 quarts, you're not overfilling it. It's just perfect, just how I knew it will be, because that's how I do all my oil changes on my 5 Series. So that's that. And yeah, so I know you guys are going to be asking, oh, don't you have to check the dipstick? Well, when I do my oil change on this particular car, It's just because I know it. I don't really need to check the dipstick. It's less of I have an oil leak somewhere, and to see if pretty much find out where it's leaking from. There's oil leak somewhere, but I know I'm okay when I put new oil, the 7 quarts in. So the 7 quarts fills the engine block perfectly. It's no more or no less. So yes. So the last thing I'm going to show you guys is how to reset your oil light. As you see right here, mine's on just one oil on light left. I just did my oil change, complete oil change, and now I'm going to just use my little cool little tool to reset my oil light. So I'm going to turn off my engine, and what we do with this, I have it on my previous video, but I'm going to make it all complete with this video. We're going to come here, take this off, just twist it from the bottom twist, the top don't twist, lift upwards. There's only one way of putting it in, and then put that to the side, and see the little indicator, and we'll put it in there right here. Okay then, and what we do with this, we turn the ignition forward, and then supposedly, not supposedly, but just hit this button on the side. Yep, and then there, the light turned off. And then the oil light should be reset. So now come in here, and now the oil light's reset. So now next time it goes low again. Now I know to check my oil. Let me see. So I'm gonna turn my car. There. So that's how you reset your oil light. And then we're done. So that's how we do a complete oil change. It's real simple. It's a little time consuming when you're recording, but this oil change takes less than the time that it takes for the oil to drain out. But so while the oil is draining from the bottom, you do everything on the top. So you can do this job with like less than 10 to 15 minutes max. But for your first time, it's gonna take a little longer because you're gonna be hesitating, but hopefully this video helps you out and gives you more confidence on doing your own oil change, so you could save money and doing it yourself. Because if you end up doing it somewhere else, what ended up happening with me, I pay $80 for an oil change at Jiffy Lube, but they end up putting fucking water-based oil. Like it's like, because when I did the next oil change, when I drained it, it was like watery. It was like some cheap oil. So, and that's how much the oil cost. But I bought my oil at Walmart, so I on the oil alone, I spent less than $50. And plus the oil filter, that's another $12, so under $60. So that's that, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please give my video a thumbs up. Like I said, I'm still going to be making 5 series videos, and I'm going to be making 3 series videos on my new Beamer. So please subscribe, give my video a thumbs up, and go through my channel. I have a lot of videos on tips and tricks. Okay, so thank you guys for watching once again, and I'll see you on the next video.